Hi, welcome to Enter the Bunker, where we launch you into thriving. Each week we talk about a different virtue that can be used as a building brick to build your own personal bunkers. We share personal stories, as well as tips and tricks to help you thrive instead of survive. So sit down, relax, and enter the bunker.
And welcome everybody to Enter the Bunker. Today is Thriving Thursday, where we are helping you to launch into thriving. I am Jonathan.
I'm Dave.
And today we have some interesting challenges which we're going to be going through. Of course, the theme, because we are so close to Valentine's Day, is of course love.
Love.
So we're going to have some fun with that today, and we're looking forward to the chat joining us on this. Unfortunately today, Kelly isn't available, but we may have an upgrade.
Well,
We've got Dave.
Kelly's got some big shoes. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so we're really excited to have everyone join us and tell us a little bit about what we're going to be doing today.
Well, we are going to be presented with two options called this or that we actually haven't seen yet. And we're going to discuss which one we prefer and which ones we like and why, maybe.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's do it. And join us in the chat and let us know how you feel about these things. If you love them or you don't.
Okay, so I guess we have...
Oh, first one's up. Here we go.
Thumbs up.
Okay, so do you love salty or sweet snacks?
I would have to go... If this was 10 years ago, I would go with sweet 100%. But with a recent diabetes diagnosis, I'm going to choose the salty snacks now.
Really?
Yeah. Really.
Okay.
And I could probably eat salty snacks times 10 more than I could sweets.
Okay. Is that only because of health changes? Or I mean, like, if you had the choice, would you still go to salty today?
I would still go to salty.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I can sit down and I can eat a bag of chips. I can't eat 24 cookies.
Okay. True. For myself, it is definitely sweet.
Sweet.
I'm crazy about ice cream.
Favorite kind?
Utterly divine.
Oh, that's a good one.
That
used to be my favorite.
It's a whole hodgepodge
It
of
really
just like
is.
all kinds of chocolate.
And when you get that
peanut
chunk
butter.
of goodness.
Oh yeah, it's just awesome. So I'm totally a sweets guy, and I mean it shows. You know, I probably get too much into it. Yeah, my whole life I've never been a real salty guy. Like I don't know what it is. I just, I've never enjoyed chips very much.
Okay.
I just don't know why.
But I would prefer popcorn over chips. Hands down, I would eat popcorn. I could eat popcorn every day.
Okay.
Just as a snack.
Well, that's salty too.
It is a little salty.
It's the buttery salty flavor, right?
The butter is the good part.
Oh, you gotta have the butter. Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
So chat, let's see. We've got salty all the way.
Salty.
Destiny, and so I guess salty's a winner here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we go to the next one?
Let's do it.
What do we got?
Movies or TV shows? What do you love?
Oh boy. I loved going to the movies. Loved it. I loved the experience. I loved the sound.
Yeah.
Being an audiophile, getting the sweet spot in a theater where you can hear everything around you and coming at you. That's great. But I think since COVID hit, I think a lot of us learned to adjust to making a better home theater.
Yeah.
Probably. I know my home theater is pretty good, 5.1 surround. I think nowadays I'd have to go with home TV shows.
TV shows.
Oh, I got it confused. I thought this was movies away or at home.
Okay.
I read it wrong. If it's a good TV show, like Vikings, I would binge that from start to finish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Versus a movie.
Versus a movie.
Okay.
How about you?
So, movies versus TV shows. So, I find myself, I I mean, if I think about the amount of time I've spent watching movies versus watching TV shows, I'd kind of have to say that it's TV shows that I love more.
Yeah.
Probably because there's always the anticipation and there's much more character development, whereas in a movie you can't have that.
How many cliffhangers would you have in a movie? A couple?
Yeah, a few, and they all get resolved in 2 hours.
Right. At the end of every TV show, if it's good or an adventure,
yeah,
you got that big cliffhanger that draws you back.
Yeah, at the end of every episode, and you're always just like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And since the invention of Netflix, it's like you said, you can sit and binge watch these episodes for like just recently, I watched Orville.
Okay.
On Disney, right? Orville is almost like a replay of Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's very obviously a replay of Star Trek. Actually, once you watch it, and if you've watched Star Trek, you know it's a replay.
Gotcha.
But it takes a different twist. It's not so military. It's got kind of like a more kind of a casual feel to it. But as soon as I started watching Orville, I was actually watching it because I saw somebody reference it in a meme, and I was curious. I was just like, okay, I got to check this out because. And so then I watched it, and it took a few episodes until I finally caught up to the one that had the meme.
Oh, okay.
And but as I was watching it, I started to get into the characters. I started to get to know everybody, and then of course, what happens? Next thing you know, I'm watching season 1 and season 2, and going all the way to now. I'm waiting for season 3.
My biggest pet peeve when you're starting a show that's really good, and you don't realize that it's not all there yet. They still have live. Weekly episodes that come out.
Yeah.
And then you get caught up, and then you have to wait a week.
Yeah. That's where I'm at with Boba Fett right now.
I almost lose my interest and start something else.
Yeah, I'm at the Book of Boba Fett. I don't know if you've ever watched it on Disney.
No.
But it's a series that just came out, and of course they just had their season finale last week. But every week I was waiting until Thursday until it came out, right? So yeah, I would have to say TV shows are better. I would love them. I love them more than the movies.
Right.
Yeah.
What do we have in the chat there?
Let's see. Going back to, Destiny justifies her salty with being allergic to chocolate.
Oh, wow.
Yikes, that would do it. I agree. That would definitely keep you from
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Yeah, well, it seems like we're allergic to everything.
Somebody's allergic to
Somebody's allergic to something. Yeah. Love The Office and binging TV shows, but I have no time. I'm more of a movie person. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, it's all about these days it's about the time, right?
Wow, true.
So, okay, cool. Let's move on.
Next slide.
Ooh.
City or country?
Oh, interesting.
I can answer this one pretty easy. When I was 19, I moved to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Downtown Vancouver.
Oh.
And I was from a small town, or I wouldn't even call it a town, a village, Elderbank.
Almost in the country, yeah.
Yeah, Elderbank is the country.
Okay.
And so I went from one extreme to the other, got used to the big city, and then moved back to Nova Scotia. And I'm like, I don't want to live in the city anymore. It's
interesting.
Too big, too loud, too fast. And I actually live back in Elderbank now.
Okay.
So I'm country all the way.
You're country all the way. Okay.
How about you?
So, I mean, the fact is that I'm not in the city right now. But in terms of like, I've never really. I mean, this is about as country as I've ever gotten. Like living in this area. Like, but at the same time, we're going to the cities all the time. City life though is like you said, it's just like it's too fast.
Yeah.
And I think that people around there. It depends where you live, I guess, but I get a sense of like disconnectedness. Like there's kind of like your group, but then everyone else is like there, but they're kind of strangers,
right?
So I feel like the country is definitely preferable to the city, but I don't really live a country life. Like I drive into the city all the time, and
Oh yeah, we make our trips.
Yeah, and so without that, I just know I wouldn't survive.
Right.
But if there's a love between the two, I believe also that there is especially after COVID, there's this desire to actually move away from the cities.
Right. A lot of people have done that.
Yeah, and that's just what's happened,
yeah.
Right? But then I think also like in terms of like climate change and ecological concerns and things like that, more and more people are looking for ways that they can kind of go back to the earth.
Right.
Sort of thing. Because
a little more self-sustaining
Yeah.
than just relying on the corner store or the grocery store.
Exactly.
Right.
Which with supply chains and everything else, which are collapsing now,
That's a big
have
thing.
caused lots of issues, right, in terms of the environment. So people think, okay, like how can I reduce my carbon footprint? Well, you got to basically move away from the cities and get into a place where you're doing that. So
Right.
I think it's on trend. So hey, we're ahead of the times.
Yep, ahead of the times. And Destiny, she said she's from Vancouver also, and it made her hate the city. Well,
there you go.
I'm with you on that. What else is she saying? Got to have the country in the city convenience feel.
Like the outskirts.
Yes.
That's exactly where I'm at, Destiny.
And I feel the same because in Elderbank, we're probably 40 to 50 minutes for either Truro or Halifax.
Yeah.
We're right in the middle.
Okay.
So it's convenient to everything.
Yeah, I find Bert convenient personally. Like, I mean, we're 15 minutes, like not even 15. It's like 10 minutes to Truro.
Yeah, that's right.
And then there's a couple of other places, just Masstown around the corner. And then if we want to go to anywhere, whether it's going to someplace in Amherst or someplace in Glasgow or someplace to Halifax,
less than an
it's
hour.
all less than an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, it's very central and easy to get to. So
Perfect.
yeah. Cool.
All right.
Keep going.
Next slide.
Oh.
Alone or with friends?
Alone or with friends?
You start this one.
What do I love more, being alone or with friends? I have to say alone. When I think about my whole life and the time I've spent being alone on purpose, I've done that a lot. I spent a lot of my younger years actually taking late night walks. Yeah. And just to be alone and just be I didn't really seek out being around my friends very often. But I'd say that I like to spend time alone just because I guess there's a lot of things I got to process. Yeah. So then I just end up if I just have some time alone, then I can take care of that. So yeah, I prefer being alone than being with friends.
I would say yes to that too. Having played guitar since I was 10 years old, I spent a lot of time by myself in my room trying to learn things. And it's still the same. I mean, obviously my family is different because I like being with them. If you're listening, I like being with you guys. But being alone, having my own time and doing the things that I love, can't beat it.
Okay. So we both love the same thing.
Yeah.
Destiny says, I love being alone. Sometimes I go to the restaurant alone for lunch and it's lovely. Interesting. I've never, actually, when I was younger, I can remember doing stuff like that, but I've never done that on purpose personally.
I wouldn't go into a restaurant by myself. I would get takeout. Yeah. And I'd go sit somewhere quiet by myself. I would do that.
Okay.
But I don't know if I've ever gone into a restaurant and had lunch by myself.
Yeah. To me, I'm still surrounded by people, so I'm not alone. Sure. Maybe nobody right at the table with me, but I'm still being, surrounded. Yeah. So to me, alone is like walking in the forest, and just there's
no one in earshot.
There is nobody in earshot. Yeah. That to me is like being alone. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, okay, that's cool. Looks like we all like being alone. Spend or save money?
Oh God, this is a hard one.
Yes, financial decisions.
Yes. Well, I love guitar gear.
Okay.
So I'm guilty for wanting the next thing. If there's new guitar technology out there, like it, and I want to get it. But guitars themselves, just a passion, and everyone is different, and you end up having a relationship with that guitar if it's right. Okay. If it's not right, pretty quick, and away it goes. Okay. But I have fun spending money. Okay. I should be saving, but I have fun spending.
Okay.
How about you?
I think I'm more of a saver. Oh. When I think about how often we go shopping for things and whatnot, I just don't find myself looking to spend. I'm not, and I think it's because of my Bitcoin in me.
Yes.
Because
the diamond grip.
You're thinking about, you're thinking about the hodl, right? You're thinking about, because when you understand the appreciation of assets and things like that. And when you realize that the Bitcoin you spend today could be
right
3, 4, 5, 10x tomorrow, like, and by tomorrow I mean like next year, then you get a sense of like, well, how much is this really worth to me?
Right.
You know, like if I'm going to spend this money now, is this going to be worth as much as what that Bitcoin could be in the future?
Yeah.
Right. And the more involved you are with cryptocurrencies like that, the more you start to build that kind of mindset to where it's like, do I really need this jacket? You know, because I'm going to spend X amount of dollars on it, and that's the value of what I had to spend on my Bitcoin. And, you know, come next year, that jacket just cost me like 5 times what it could have been, you know, and so forth. So you have these kind of debates.
Right.
So really, being in cryptocurrency has turned me into a saver.
That's a good thought.
Yeah.
I'm slowly getting to there. my crypto wallet is very slowly growing.
Yeah.
But it is growing. It is growing.
Yeah. Cool. And what's happening with the chat? Ooh, hard one. I love shopping, but I also love spending my money in investments, so I don't know if that counts as spending. Aha. I think that doesn't count as spending.
No, because if you're putting it in and it's growing, that's not, because spending is it's gone, and you have one thing to show for it that depreciates. If you're growing your money that you're spending, that's great.
Yeah, it's investing. So it's the same as, to me, that's more like savings on steroids.
That's true.
With risk. So anyways, let's move to the next one.
I think we have one. Is it one more?
Do we? Oh, here we go.
This is it. Rain or shine?
This is interesting because because you asked some people this, and I imagine you get different answers.
Yeah, I would think you do. For the most part, though, I'm gonna go back to my Vancouver days for Destiny. I came from Nova Scotia to Vancouver, and I got there in August of one year. My first November there, it rained 29 days.
Wow.
And I mean heavy rain, even Destiny says. But after 2 years of being there, I said I would give anything for a freezing cold, sunny Nova Scotia day. And that's what brought me back. So I do prefer sun.
You prefer sunny days?
Yeah.
In the freezing cold?
I would take sun in the freezing cold over rain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's the brightness, it's the light. It just, instead of being dark and dreary and wet,
okay,
you know, I get that bright, it just lifts me. It lifts me up.
It gives you a different feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, that's understandable. I would have to go with, I definitely love the sunshine more. Yeah, I am definitely a sun worshiper. I used to, like, when I was younger, I would like tan all the time and just be like, constantly wanted to soak up the sun. So that's definitely in me.
Do you go down south? Do you like going down south?
No. I mean, yeah, I ended up marrying somebody from Thailand, so that says something. Sun all the time there. There you go. But yeah, I enjoy the sun. So rain, similar to what you said in terms of like the grayness of it all and whatnot.
I can listen to the rain and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I would like it to be sunny shortly after that.
Yeah. So I'm definitely a sun worshiper.
Yeah.
And it looks like Destiny is the rain. The feeling of sitting inside, listening to the rain with a warm drink is amazing.
Can't argue that.
Yeah.
That's a good thought.
It's a good thought. Yeah. Absolutely. So those were the things we love and why we love them. And that's what we did for this Valentine's Day episode. So our next episode will be...
A good question.
Good question. Serenity Now. That's
now.
What's happening. So the next episode will be on Serenity, and we're looking forward to everyone joining us there. We're going to have a good time there too.
Yep. And Kelly should be back next week.
Yep. So you look forward to that too.
It's been fun though. Thank you.
All right. Take care, everybody. And remember to launch into thriving.
See you guys.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Enter the Bunker. Make sure to follow us on Instagram where you can share your story and also look at behind the scenes of how we make our podcast. You can watch the video version of this podcast on YouTube by simply searching Enter the Bunker. Tune in next time as we launch into thriving.